The secret to overcoming anything. In a bustling city, there lived a young man named Arian who constantly felt overwhelmed by life's challenges. Despite his efforts, he seemed to face obstacles at every turn, big and small. Frustrated, he often wondered if there was a way to truly overcome anything. One day, he confided in his grandfather, who had always been a calm, resilient presence in Arian's life. The wise old man smiled and said, "I'll share the secret with you, if you're ready to learn." Eager and curious, Arian agreed to listen carefully. The grandfather began, "The secret to overcoming anything lies in understanding 3 steps. Accept, adapt, and act." He explained that this mindset would prepare Arian to face any challenge with courage. Arian listened closely, ready to uncover the wisdom behind each step. "First, accept your circumstances," the grandfather said. Accepting doesn't mean giving up. It means acknowledging reality. He shared that fighting reality often makes obstacles seem even larger. Arian realized that denial had been one of his biggest barriers. Grandfather continued, "When you accept things as they are, you free your mind from unnecessary struggles." Arian noticed how he often wasted energy worrying rather than finding solutions. Acceptance seemed like a small but powerful shift. Grandfather moved to the next step. Adapt to what you cannot change and find ways around it. He explained that flexibility is one of the greatest strengths when facing difficulties. Arian realized he often tried to control everything, which led to frustration. "When you adapt," Grandfather said, "you stop seeing obstacles as blockages and start viewing them as redirections." Arian felt a surge of relief at the thought of navigating around problems instead of fighting them. This approach felt liberating and refreshing. The final step, Grandfather shared, was to act. Once you accept and adapt, take decisive action toward your goal. He stressed that fear of failure often holds people back from acting. Arian understood that taking action, even if imperfect, was essential. Arian asked, "But what if I'm still afraid?" His grandfather reassured him, "Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. True courage is acting despite your fears, knowing you're stronger than them." Arian felt a new sense of resolve building within him. "Remember," Grandfather said, "the secret is not to fight battles but to flow with them." By aligning with the challenge instead of resisting, he would find strength and peace. Arian knew this approach was different from anything he'd tried before. With his grandfather's words in mind, Arian decided to face a long-standing fear: public speaking. He had always avoided it, but he knew it was time to act. He took a deep breath, remembering to accept, adapt, and act. As he spoke, he felt nervous but kept going, realizing the world didn't collapse around him. The more he spoke, the more his confidence grew, adapting to the audience's reactions. In that moment, he felt the power of overcoming through action. Afterward, Arian felt exhilarated, realizing he had conquered one of his biggest fears. He thanked his grandfather for the wisdom and vowed to use it in other areas of life. The experience of overcoming felt like a victory of the soul. As days went by, Arian faced challenges with a new perspective, no longer feeling overwhelmed. Every problem became an opportunity to practice his newfound mindset. He felt lighter, as though he had unlocked a door within himself. He shared his grandfather's advice with friends who admired his calmness and resilience. Many started adopting his approach, inspired by his transformation. Arian was becoming a guide to those around him. One friend asked, "What if you don't see results immediately?" Arian replied, "Patience is also part of the secret." He explained that acceptance, adaptation, and action sometimes require time to show results. But the journey itself was always worth it. Over time, Arian noticed himself growing stronger and more self-assured. He no longer feared obstacles, but saw them as steps toward his goals. His mindset became his greatest tool for success. Eventually, he encountered a major setback at work. A project he'd invested months in was unexpectedly canceled. Instead of panicking, he remembered his grandfather's words. With calm acceptance, he adapted and planned his next steps. His boss noticed his resilience and promoted him, recognizing his leadership qualities. Arian's calm in the face of challenges inspired his colleagues as well. The secret was shaping his entire life. Years later, he looked back on his journey, filled with gratitude for his grandfather's wisdom. He felt that one decision, to listen and embrace this approach, had changed his life forever. The secret had become his way of being. Moral of the story: true resilience lies in the power to accept, adapt, and act. Life's challenges are not meant to break us, but to help us grow stronger. By embracing this mindset, we discover that we can overcome anything life throws our way.